All right. We are looking at the dollar CAD pair, and my 2440 level is about to get hit. I gave you guys on Twitter. You can see that over here. Just give it a few seconds here. Make sure we keep things honest around here. So I mentioned that we would see a run on the buy stops around the 124 big figure, and we would see 124.20 and then 124.40, and they would be our objectives. At the time of this recording, okay, it is 124 p.m. East Coast time in the U.S. I'm in the state of Maryland, so it's on East Coast time, and you can see it punch right to our targets right there. Very good. So one more in the books on his hindsight magic moments. So we're looking at what caused this move here today. I know some of you are probably scratching your head. What's going on? Why did it trade so deeply lower? And I'm going to talk about that in the scope of the free tutorials. So in other words, what we're looking for is reasons to suspect why this could have happened, using the information I taught in the free tutorials from 2010 on to 2016. So we have a few things that took place here. Obviously, there's some buy stops, okay? Buy stops running here and here, and they engineered that as a resistance level. So everyone on the forums, on social media, everyone running, signal services, you can see this as a resistance point, okay, and therefore expect a low to be made in a longer term time frame. In other words, moving lower. So let's go over to the dollar index, okay, and I'll kind of want to ask you to look at this price action here for the dollar. It's pretty much a solid day. I mean, we've had the market make a nice move away from midnight. Just keep trading higher and higher and higher. Folks that try to do reversals against an underlying strong pair get chopped up, smashed, and that was indicative of today's action on dollar. It's real hard to fight that. In Sunday, with my personal private group, I gave them scenarios that would lead to a potential run on the dollar, and I gave some comments, and I don't want to open up a Pandora's box because admittedly I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I've always been an opponent to it. I think it's just basically the new breed of penny stocks, okay, and until more time is there behind them, I'm open to changing my mind at a later time, but for right now I just don't personally believe that Bitcoin is something that I should be concerning myself with. It doesn't matter that it went up as high as it did, because penny stocks do that all the time, and just because they do it doesn't mean everybody's pouring money in, or that they should. Okay, so, and again, I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I couldn't even begin to trade Bitcoin to save my own life. I don't know that much about it, but I made some comments about how I felt that they were going to strengthen the dollar. There's a lot of concern about moving into the dollar. South America, and if you're paying attention below the North American continent, there's a lot of countries down there, and I'm not going to name any specifically, but because YouTube has a lot of issues with flagging people when it comes to political stuff, so I'm going to kind of keep it as neutral as I possibly can. But there's a particular country right now that's moving its self, or trying to do very well against the dollar. In other words, moving away from it. They don't want to use the dollar, okay, and they're in cahoots with potentially working with another country in the Middle East, okay, and if you do a Google search, you'll know who those people are, or those countries are. And I mentioned that they would probably want to strengthen the dollar on the heels of all of the excitement around the Bitcoin market, okay. And now again, I don't know what Bitcoin's doing. I haven't even looked at a chart. I could care less, okay, but there's this major discussion about the dollar taking a dumper, and it's dead, it's going to this, it's going to do that. And again, whenever there's market sentiment built in that strongly, I like to be the other side of the marketplace. So going back to our dollar CAD, we had the market prior to a big speaker, okay, there was a fella. There's a fella here talking today at 11:45. This is all East Coast time, New York time, and it was high impact. And the question is if the dollar's going higher, okay, if the dollar's going higher at the same time that they're dragging the dollar CAD lower, well, that doesn't make any sense. So what are they doing? They're keeping these buy stops in play, coming all the way back down to take some liquidity out of the marketplace. Okay, and I like this one here. And obviously the question is going to be is why didn't you pick this one, or why didn't it go below this one? Well, admittedly, I wanted this one to collapse the trade, and you can see the limit order here and another limit order right in here. This low and this low was what was being targeted for that. Okay, and I'm not going to go into every reason why that's the case, but we understand from the Sniper Series, Persistent Trading Concepts, those video series that I put out, we target these levels. Okay, so while everyone else is looking to do other things, we are thinking, or at least I was trying to teach you to think like a market maker, and it's rather hard to do that with neophyte traders because it's better for you to learn what it's like to be wrong a lot but not lose a lot of money. So that way you don't have a whole lot of bad habits, but you can appreciate when you can take the market and turn it upside down and suddenly see everything as it really is. Doesn't mean you're always right, that I'm always right, but sometimes I'm pretty right. So this is where I was looking to see the collapse on the market making a move lower. I didn't think it would go much lower than that in terms of a hold for a short, but my opinion was I was waiting to see if they drove it below this low here, and that's what's in my chart that I tweeted on Twitter. And had it done that, I would have bought below that for a turtle suit, and with the anticipation of running the buy stops, taking something out midpoint in here, maybe around 23.65 or so, and then taking profit at the high at 24.07, then scaling something off at 24.20, and then ultimately leaving a small portion off for 24.40. And you can see we were right on the money on that one again. I was a little off. I was off by 5 pips, but that's sometimes going to happen, and that's okay. I'm not worried about calling the very high. Bottom line is I didn't get anything on the long side, okay, even though that's where I thought the market was going to go. But because we had a optimal trade entry in here, okay, optimal trade entry, short, that movement lower, okay, gave us the targets below these swing lows. So everything I gave you in terms of your free tutorials is seen in this particular price action, and the context, because there's a ongoing storyline with the new breed of mentors that are on Twitter and social media. I'm taking the high road, okay? I'm not trying to bash anybody else, okay? I'm not trying to make fun of anyone else, because I've done that a lot in the past, and to be quite honest with you, it's kind of like a prick move, so I'm trying not to be a prick. So I mute all the folks that either talk something to me on Twitter that's either ignorant, number one, or trying to get a rise out of me. So you're not going to get a rise out of me, so you can just relax. But there's this growing trend of folks that are now obviously starting mentorships, and they're claiming they went through my program. I can tell you there's 2 of them. Okay, and you know who you are. So before I start talking about you on social media and calling you out on it, you didn't go through my mentorship program. Okay, so please don't promote your product like you did, because you didn't. Okay, so you don't know everything I taught in the mentorship. And anyone that ever tells you that they went through my program or studied the ICT program or they went through the mentorship, number one, everyone signed a non-disclosure with me. Okay, so if they're promoting themselves, like, number one, they're breaking the NDA, and I'll move on that. Secondly, they were specifically told that they can't use my name in their marketing. So that's a telltale sign going forward. If anybody ever tells you that they were a private student of mine, okay, and they're going to teach you what's in the mentorship, they're lying. Okay, so just save your money. Don't spend your money on that. And it is what it is. But if you have bought into a mentorship of some kind, and you're not really looking at things that make a whole lot of sense, or it doesn't feel like it's doing too good for you, in October, you're welcome to come to my house, and it's free. So I'm going to be able to go through things like this every day, Monday through Friday. You all get to sit down with me and have coffee with ICT. Yep, that's right. I'm going to be doing live analysis over the New York session Monday through Friday, and you'll be able to see what my anticipation is about particular markets. I'm not going to be teaching mentorship stuff, but I'm going to call the market every single trading day that my wife and I have made available for me. So in other words, if there's plans, if there's something going around in my personal life, I may not be able to do it. So I'm not obligated to anybody, but I certainly want to be able to spend some time with the folks that were outside of our mentorship group. I know a lot of you didn't have the funds to join up, and a lot of you would like to do it now. I don't have the energy to go through that again. It's a lot of work. It's so many hours. I don't even know how many hours of video it was, but long and short of it is, I can't do that all over again. I'm still finishing up. I'm obligated to the group until December 1st. Then I'm physically free. Okay, but their membership pays for me to have access, or them to have access to me forever. So there's anything that I see in the charts, I can share them with them. That is not what everyone's going to be invited to. So please understand that I am not inviting you into my mentorship group. I'm not inviting you into my mentorship tutorial area. You're not seeing that. Okay, what I'm providing you is a specific little segment in my forum where you'll have a username and a password that's unique to you, and you'll sign in and you'll be able to kind of like, it's like a blog, okay, but it's dynamic. In other words, you'll be able to engage with me like I'm doing now. See, this is recorded. You'll be actually be able to see what I'm doing live, okay, at the time of Monday through Friday. Now, it doesn't mean every single trading day I'm going to be doing something. Like now, I'm done for the week. Everything I would have expected for the week has happened again. And we've did this week after week after week for over a year, and trying to ingrain that in people's minds in the mentorship group. Now, obviously with a high level of degree of why this is supposed to happen and why that's supposed to happen. And I'm going to try to do that same thing, but only in the scope of what you've been introduced in terms of the free tutorials, because there's a lot of folks right now, okay, that have thought that it's better just to create a signal service or a mentorship because they haven't done well with the actual trading. And I'm not trying to start a republic of any kind, okay, but it's better for you to learn how to do it from the source than some people that learn from me that are just really repackaging my free tutorials, okay, because that's really what's been going on. And long and short of it is, all of you were promised that you would get a better understanding in the marketplace by my material and my resources. And I want to kind of give you guys a glimpse of what it's like to be able to see these things and observe them in real time, because there's always been this prevailing idea, because I won't show you a track record, I won't do this, I won't do that. I spent a lot of time trolling online because it was fun. It was very entertaining for me. But unfortunately, some individuals took it to a totally different level and started really harassing my family members. And no one sees my home, and no one sees those things while they were promoting all those things on Twitter before. It just got really personal, and I had personal members of my family being interrogated, basically asking where is Michael at, and where do you live at, and is this your car, and is this where you worked, all these types of things. And I got children, so it was just very distracting. I couldn't focus on doing the mentorship group, and it wasn't fair to them or me or my family, so I just pulled it back. So now, because I'm back on social media, because there's people online, and if you go over to Forex Peace Army, there's a goober that's put a comment about a review supposedly being in my mentorship. And I don't recall seeing this particular person by their name in my mentorship group, but it doesn't mean that he wasn't piggybacking on someone and sharing it because he couldn't afford to pay the payments. So we had about 200 people quit over the course of the last 12 months. And I got a strong 664, I think it is. Yeah, 664 members that actually completed the course with me. And really solid group. Nobody's a drama queen. Okay, they're very focused and intent on learning what was shown to them. But there were a few that were introduced to my stuff, and because they were looking for signals, they quickly ran away because they were hoping to make money on signals and then therefore pay for the service. And I told everyone going in, it's not a signal service. It's to teach you how to look at the marketplace. And that's the only thing I'm promising for you guys to be part of, this free venture. It's not, it's not going to have any mentorship stuff in it. Okay. There's no way for you to talk in the forum because I'm not going to be babysitting. I have mentorship moderators, but for the most part, everyone conducts themselves in a business-like and very respectable manner, and they are the ones that are voiced. Even those individuals won't be allowed to talk in this specific area. It's just going to be me, and not to sound egotistical, but really, you're in here to really hear what my perspective is, either to make fun of me when I'm wrong, or to learn from me, and hopefully, I'd give you an opportunity to see, from my perspective at least, on what the markets are doing. And we're going into the really busy time of the year. I really love this time of year. The markets move around and gyrate. It's really fun. And I want to be able to, share that experience with you. And if you guys want to continue into 2018, then it will obviously be a private membership where, yes, there will be a PayPal link for that. And you probably think, oh, I knew it was coming. That's okay. You don't have to be a part of it. Just like everyone had an invitation to go with the mentorship. I'm making myself available for the New York session, so that way you guys want to watch my commentary, you can see what I'm looking at real time. Again, it is not a signal service. I'm not going to tell you buy here, put your stop here, do any of that stuff. All I'm going to do is specifically call the market where I think it's going to move from, higher or lower, and where risk should be defined. And because it's in a demo account, you can't lose money and you can't make money. And if you got a problem with that, don't even bother coming in. Okay. But you're certainly welcome to spend the rest of this year with me and see what goes on and how accurate we can be and when we're wrong. So I'll leave it to you guys to discern whether or not it's of any interest to you. But I just got a really bad taste in my mouth when someone or some folks that spent time with me make a case about belittling people that follow my work, but they're just repackaging my stuff. Okay, broken nose patterns, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, it's just really breakers and mitigation blocks. So yeah, more on that I'm sure only in the capacity of YouTube, but it is what it is. You guys got a couple different examples this week, and they weren't small little scalps. They were big moves. And this is what we do. We look for these types of moves in the marketplace. We look for elephant tracks, okay? And then if we see an elephant track, we know we got an elephant. And elephants aren't small. If you put an elephant, turn it loose in a china cabinet, it's going to destroy a lot of things and leave a lot of evidence that they came through. And you can see that there's a big elephant track in the market moves that I mentioned today, and also with the euro dollar. So with that, folks, hopefully this has been insightful to you. If it hasn't been, that's fine. If you like these types of things and you want to see a more dynamic way of doing it over charts live, that's what's coming in October, along with my old tutorials, so that way you guys can follow along. There's a lot of folks that email me on the daily, hundreds of emails a day coming to my innercircletrader@gmail.com, and I'll just answer it all right now. All of my old tutorials are coming back. They're going to be in a forum. The website, theinnercircletrader.com, will be the link, okay? And then it'll be a membership where you sign up. There is no cost for the whole remaining of this year. I'm not asking for anything. You guys are welcome to come in and just watch, okay? And if you think it's great and you want to continue in 2018, you will be given an invitation to do so. If you don't, you're welcome to talk all kinds of mess about me online. I don't care. I don't mind, okay? It doesn't bother me. But you have basically, what's that, October, November, December? You got 3 months to spend with me, okay? And I can't promise every single day, Monday through Friday, but there'll be enough for you to see that there's a way of looking at price action and having an understanding of where it should go, why it should go there, and using just the free tutorials alone. And I'm going to really be focusing on giving you a better understanding of optimal trade entry, because everything I told you this week, it was just on one pattern, optimal trade entry. So that one particular pattern, the one I started with back on Baby Piss back in 2010, that's the one I started with, and that's the one I'm sticking to for everyone to be able to find a little niche in the marketplace, because that pattern is on every time frame. It's in every style of trading, long-term position trading or scalping on a 1-minute chart. So until I talk to you next time, which probably won't be until next week in terms of a video. Wish you good luck, good trading, have yourself a pleasant, safe week, and I'll catch up with you next time.